Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to round one. We've run the die roll, and assuming that I submitted this correctly, I'm trying to door people in M13 Limited. Here we go. Ah, this hand. Well, it gets mulliganed. We have no green source. This one we keep. The good old do nothing till turn 4. Oh, sorry, let me turn down the volume a little bit. No, people don't necessarily like the Magic Online game sounds, but that's fine. Turn it down a little bit more, too. Ooh, Index. Tough competition in this draft. I'm kidding. The card, I mean, obviously if it cantripped it would be insane, but alas it's not. They decided, hey, Ponder, a little too good. So there are only 3 mountains in my deck right now, which is probably terrible. I think the most insane card I could draw right now would be Farseek, because then I get to go Farseek into Ranger's Path and have Sentinel Spider and turn to Slag up. Or Swamp. Yeah, playing 6 lands that essentially produce colorless mana can be really trying at times. But I do it for you, dear reader. Who he had to go real deep on this draft with the Kraken Hatchling, apparently. Well, we've got the Magma Quake, and I get to untap in Ranger's Path next turn, and assuming he doesn't negate it, which I would assume is not impossible. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 1/3 Death Touch. I'll live with that all day. You know, playing a 4/2 holds him back better. Because, like, you're an idiot if you swing a 1/3 into a 4/2 trample. And, like, even if I'm not willing to trade, I'm willing to just, like, sit here. I have no reason to, like, advance the board state. I'm playing the Ranger's Path door deck. Like, I get to be stupid. Why did you waste a pick on a Reliquary Tower? Did you really expect to draw so many cards that you're going to go over your maximum hand size in M13 Limited? Come on. And, like, if he spends a card killing the Spike Baloth, I'm fine. It's a card that's not killing Sentinel Spider, which is much better. Ugh, super jealous of that divination, though. That I will not deny. And, like, if he offers the 1 damage for my 4 attack, I'll make that attack all day. See? Get to fire off the Sentinel Spider. Next turn, if I draw no business, I can just Ranger's Path. See, and the thing is, by submitting my deck as the door mode, even if I do unlock the achievement of dooring someone, I've locked myself into playing that deck for the start of every game. Alright, here, I'm not attacking. I'm not applying any amount of pressure to the board. Let's just thin our deck a little bit, get 2 forests. Dear God, if you have the negate or the rewind, I'm going to be the saddest person ever. You're paying mana? Oh my goodness. Really? Okay. That's fine, I mean... See, when you don't follow up rewind with anything, it doesn't matter that it didn't cost mana, because it's the same as if it did. Like, it doesn't gain you anything to go, boom, counter your spell, untap my lands, unless you have the fairy to follow it up. See, now I do need to attack a little bit more aggressively, because I risk being milled by Entrancer if I'm not trying to swing for 4 every turn. And particularly, this deck is very vulnerable to mill, because if I'm not careful, he could just... you know, mill one of my lands that I need two of, and I inherently lose. Okay. Sure, take 0. Get Kraken hatchlinged. Boom. Spike Baloth, here we go. Ooh, he had the Essence Scatter this time. Alright. He was not willing to take damage from the Spike Baloth. Chronomaton. Alright, that is a card. So my opponent has no cards in hand to my 3. If I draw one of my 2 remaining red lands or 2 Farseeks, I get to go off with Magma Quake and turn to Slag. Okay. Oh, and I have a Gem of Becoming, so I have at least 6 draws that produce mana to cast these spells. Or just under Forest. Okay. Attack for 4. As long as I don't let that Chronomaton grow above a 5/5, I think I should be fine. And considering the amount of time I have before that becomes a actual issue. I did not really consider how he could put Entrancer Chronomaton in front of it, but that's fine. Whatever. Completely missed the Vidalcan Entrancer activation there. Don't know what that was about. Could have a Talrand. Or just a Jace. Okay. Well, Magma Quake off the top. I mean, a Mountain off the top for Magma Quake would be amazing. Alright, you're milling 1. It's a Farseek. Ouch, that's kind of daggers. Farseek would have gotten me a Mountain. Yep, sometimes you just draft a pile of cards and a Jace. So, I mean, I sadly have to just make attacks at the Jace and lose both my creatures for almost nothing. Attack Jace, attack Jace. So, I mean, he can grow his Chronomaton and, you know, trade for my Spike Baloth and throw his Giant Scorpion in front of my Sentinel Spider, and what am I going to do about it? Okay, just let your Jace go to 1? Sure. I'm fine with that block. Sure. Okay. Well, I lost a Mountain, so I have 1 Mountain left in my deck I cannot afford to lose. Otherwise, I can't cast any of these spells, and the door turns off entirely. Swamp, Flames, Island. Oh, there goes the Hydra. I don't think we lost the second Mountain yet, guys. I think we're not live to Door. Door would just be the worst thing ever to draw right now. But I'm pretty sure there's still a Mountain in my deck, which means I can Magma Quake. Okay, it's encrusted. You got it. Yeah. You gonna attack? That seems like the worst plan of all time. And like a boss, I get there. 2, 3. And I'm just gonna Magma Quake for all of it. There are no counter spells that I can play around in this format, so. X equals 6. Sure, seems good to me. Kill a Jace, have removal spell, removal spell. So the door in my deck is completely dead. If you have the negate, I mean, good for you, I lose. I'm just gonna enlarge my graveyard, we get a better look at it. Alright, sure, F6. Alright, so we lost the Hydra, that was one of our... Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever, I can just blow a turn to slag on that. We lost the Hydra, I mean, we have a bunch of derpy dudes, whatever. We're at 20 life and our opponent no longer has a Jace, so I'd say we're ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna pop over here in our deck editor and pull up our deck, and we can see what outs we have remaining. Load, door, draft deck. Sure, load. Cards in the deck you attempted to load do not match the cards. So the deck in your tournament deck. Deck not loaded. Whoa! Yeah, the rewind. Alright, sure. You got the rewind. F6. Don't really care. Your Harbor Bandit will get to hit me for 3. That's fine. Have another turn to slag. Or I could even turn to slag something more troublesome. Alright, well, we can get a look at our deck through this Gem of Becoming, which I think is worth doing over turn to slagging this turn. I can afford to take 3 more damage. There aren't any mountains left in our deck, right? Or swamps. I have a Deadly Recluse that's got to go all the way. Huh. That's a lot of damage to deal with one Deadly Recluse. I can't door, huh? Oh, F6. Alright, so as much as I would love to just jam this deck again, the Jekwich Dace is possibly the worst matchup for the Island, Swamp, Plains, in the Graveyard deck. Or both? Oh no, I have a Plains, yes. So I lost an Island, a Swamp, and a Plains, and a Mountain. Oh, I lost everything but my forests. Interesting. Alright, so yeah, I do not feel comfortable playing this deck in this configuration again against this opponent when he is clearly on the horrible, awful mill plan. Oh, and in fact, it's going to be very difficult for the spider to get all the way there, as I have no way to increase the amount of damage I can deal, right? Yeah, I don't see any reason to cast that Boundless Realms and put a bunch of force into play. Don't see any reason to do that either. That was not the spider. Huh. Well, I could beat the Frog Bank with a Prey upon. Don't even cast that Farseek. Show him a forest. No one cares if you show him a forest. Whatever. I don't even want to show him the deck. Let's just continue to F6. Hopefully our opponent will show us more cards out of his deck. We'll will play the Forest, though. So we drew the Deadly Recluse way too late. Slash somehow is the only creature left in our deck. I don't understand that, but... Alright, he's content to let us mill. We'll concede. Alright, so we will switch our deck to the previous configuration. It was a little bit of a trap to attempt to beat a Jace with that, but that is fine. Yes. Let us load draft deck. No, red green draft deck. Oh, no, not that one. Did have a previous draft try to go. Oh no, 4-pack sealed. Try to go blue-red with the Thragtusk. Okay, so let's look at this again. Get rid of mana cost. So we are trying to beat the Jace deck. Worldfire is technically an out to Jace, but not one I want to be playing. Yeah, no, I mean, I think this gives us our best chance to beat Jace. I'd like to toss another creature right now, if possible. I don't think another Vastwood Gorger is where I want to be, though. I'm fine submitting this. I'd love to play first. I'll play against the deck with Jace. Oh, we get to mulligan again. This one gets keep, though. This one's a spicy one. You get to go turn 3 Hunt Beast, which is pretty good. See, I don't know. If we do take this to a game 3, like, the fact that my opponent only has 15 minutes on the clock does seem like it would favor me. Compared to my 19, but who knows. I once timed out with a 12-second lead on my opponent, 24 seconds to his 12. So I don't know. That was an interesting draft game. Alright, I would not like to mulligan again. I'd like to play this Forest and pass. Alright, sure, index away. Index away. I don't know if index is playable when you have a Jace in your deck. Like, is it worth it? Does that increase your odds to slam Jace by enough that it's worth going down that many cards? Like, I don't know, it seems very interesting to pay mana and mulligan to affect the top of your deck 5 cards. Like the the claim that being on the draw is like playing a free divination is kind of true, honestly. Like, I'm willing to pay mana to have the effect of go +1 card in hand, and that is essentially what the tempo loss of being on the draw is. So we'll have 6. Alright. Kraken Hatchling will wall our Primal Hunt Beast for the time being. You know what? I am willing to just keep up on land drops and Magma Quake that Chronomaton. I definitely think that's somewhere I'm willing to be. Okay, I will discard this mountain then, because I don't think I need it. And I will actually instant speed Magma Quake now. That seems fine. It's kind of like a 1-for-1 because the Ravenous Rats did get a mountain out of my hand, but I don't know, I get 2 1/1s, like whatever. I mean, my opponent was nice and missed a land drop for me, so he clearly has all gas in hand all day. And I can't really get through this Kraken Hatchling right now, which is kind of sad. but justice, I guess. So I gain by having all my lands in play, I believe. Look at that mountain, F6. Like, I am terribly behind on card advantage here, but like, if at any point I draw, you know, the absurd cards in my deck. It's the third land. Playing something sweet? No. Well, I'm not playing anything either with my 8th land. That I should have held. I will give you that was incorrect. Definitely. Any person who says you were incorrect in playing that whatever 9th land, I agree. Okay, now I can reasonably profitably attack. Alright, I mean, you gotta have it now. Alright, 3 targets. Seems good. Can't have the rewind. You gotta have the negate. And you, sir, on a 6-turn clock. Can you deal with it? Index again. Can't safely play Jace. I've got a Primal Hunt Beast. So, like, that's the thing. My opponent has spent 2 turns essentially mulliganing with Index. And, like, apparently he didn't hit lands in those first 5 cards because, you know, he's been stuck. Like, maybe he's setting up his 5th land drop now, but, like, Index seems to be, like, a very poor use of time. Alright, I mean, that's a card. It's unlikely that I'm going to get blown out with my hexproof creature, so it is what it is. You know what? Maybe the Reliquary Tower is just a sweet mise for when he draws 20 cards with Jace. Maybe I am not giving my opponent enough credit, and he's actually just a genius. Alright, so let's attack. Boom. If you have the Fairy, I will Titanic Growth all day. Nope. Beast. Does he have the Essence Scatter? Is that the sweetness that he's been holding on to for this extended period of time? It is not. Okay. Allow me. So Primordial Hydra does not naturally have Trample. The Centaur Coursers do not have anything. Krenko does not naturally have any ability. So my choices are Deadly Recluse, Spiders, or Balos. I will take a Spider on top of my deck, please. 6. Ooh, too slow on the Vidalcan Entrencher though, good sir. You are too slow. It is not fast enough to mill my Sentinel Spider. I get to draw it. Alright, we get to attack. I am definitely willing to use a Titanic Growth to get an Entrancer off the board. Go to 9. Even if you have the counterspell for the Spider, we'll have 5 power on the board, which seems to be a good position to be in. Oh, he has it all day. If only I could be so wise as to know that your opponent just 100% of the time has the sick Essence Scatter. could just draw all the lands, that's fine. You cannot have a Fairy Invaders, I'm happy about this. Go to 4. I'm currently threatening lethal on the swing back. I could take away this revealed card. You have seen the spider die. Alright, that is a Jace. So the question becomes, do I attack the Jace? Do I attack his life total? He really cannot interact with the Hunt Beast as, you know, hexproof. So the only question is, can he interact with a 2/1? So I'm willing to just try to end the game here. I don't see any reason to show him any tricks. As much as I would love to cast this Primordial for X's 7, I have won the game. So we move on to game 2. This Jace was just far too late. Kindled Fury, Reckless Brute is not where I want to be against this deck. Worldfire is also not really an out. I could just play some stupid Vastwood Orders, but I don't think that's where I want to be either. And I've seen no reason to play Naturalize. Let's just go for it. I'm on the draw this time, guys. I also have 6 minutes on the clock on my opponent. Okay. Turn 2, Farseek, Centaur Courser. If we draw land, we can Ranger's Path or Krenko. Yeah, turn 3 Krenko seems pretty strong. Alright, see, just like last game, how we were upset about having 9 land in play, this game I'm gonna want all the lands I can possibly get my hands on. You want to Farseek. Have a mountain. Alright, my opponent did not hold open Essence Scatter mana, so we can just jam whatever we'd like to jam here. If we don't draw a land, obviously that's Centaur's Courser. If we do, it's Krenko all day. Fire in the Krenko laser. You tapped out, turn 3 Krenko. Deal with it. Oh, chat box, go away. Alright, that's a Chronomaton. See, my Krenko is very good, though. Because he has shown me the Essence Scatter, I'm willing to just sit here and Ranger's Path, get the mana operational. F6. So, I mean, luckily, I don't really have to care how big his Chronomaton gets, because I have an active Krenko now. It's like, I can just make infinite goblins. Sure, that seems a little early to do. Can't have a murder. What are you... Hmm? Are you doing something with that 3 mana? See, this is one of the key benefits of Swiss drafts is people that are sharks seem to think that, oh, I can 3-0 every 8-4 that I ever play in. I'm inclined to disagree with that. Like, I am willing to give my opponents a little bit of credit. Just a little, like a medium. A little bit of credit. But sometimes your opponents just do things that don't make sense. Get 2 more forests. We will play a very large primordial. Or a sentinel spider and a ring. I have no idea. I'm gonna attack with that goblin. Boom. Breaking the seal. And you know what? I'm willing to activate my Krenko now, because that guarantees that I will get the goblins. No, Chatbox, what are you doing? Go away. Ah. You see, I still have no regrets. Like, I was going to have to activate that Krenko at some point, and now I just get to jam Hydra and say, can you deal with this card? Because when the answer is no, I win the game. The mana systems are operational. 7/7. And I am even willing to trade my Centaur, or the damage from my Centaur, for that Chronomaton. So should I have played that post-combat? Yes. Did I? No. We'll have to live with it. You did not block first, good sir. I would have recommended blocking first. See, I don't really care about your Death Touch. I can trade off my essentially dead Krenko for that right now. Like, all your guys are actually just dead. It's kind of awesome. So let's deal with you first. 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da, da. So I've got 20 power on board. Killing your last blocker. Sure. And the good old, let's see if he can figure out how to attack. Could just have an unsummon. And if he has the unsummon, I just go Sentinel Spider pass. Because I'm insane, we're just going to make sure I don't have any auto yields. Ah yes, the tap panic. There's nothing that you have for 2 blue mana, I don't care. Sure, -4. Alright, and we were the last one. I'm going to